Hi, this video is all about interpreting quotients or estimating quotients. This video will help you out with question 14 on the Let's Be Rational quiz, where you're taking a bunch of different fraction division equations and without doing any computations or calculations, just figuring out, is this quotient going to be less than 1, greater than 1, or equal to 1? And I want to show you how, by asking yourself a really important question about what's going on with the fractions, you can place those expressions into one of these categories pretty easily. So let's look at the expressions that we're dealing with. So let's just start and we'll go down the list. We'll look at all of these and figure out, if we ask ourselves the same question about all of these, can we determine what the quotient is going to be? So remember, in most division problems, a super helpful question to ask is how many divisors go into the dividend. So that means when we are looking at a division question, we look like, let's say we have 20 divided by 4. This 4, this is the divisor, and the 20, that's the dividend. So we ask ourselves, how many 4s go into 20? Whatever that answer is, that's the quotient. So in this case, we know this one, 5 4s go into 20. So we know that. But if we flip that around, what if we said 4 divided by 20? We'd still ask ourselves, how many divisors go into the dividend? But what do you notice about this? Not even one whole 20 goes into 4. So I know that my answer, I just know that this answer is going to be less than 1. It's going to be some fraction. Less than 1 whole 20 goes into 4. Remember, I can rewrite that as 4 divided by 20 like that, which I know reduces to 1/5. So just 1/5 of 20 goes into 4. And this is the question that we're going to be asking ourselves with these expressions, so that we can figure out, like, about what do I think the quotient's going to be. So let's start with this one here. 3/4 divided by 1/2. So we're going to ask ourselves, how many 1/2s go into 3/4? Is it at least 1? Is it more than 1, or is it exactly 1? Well, I don't think it's exactly 1 because these are not the same fractions, but I do know that 1/2 is a smaller fraction than 3/4. So at least 1 whole 1/2, that sounds strange, but it's true. A whole half goes into 3/4 more than once, because 3/4 is made up of 1/4 plus 2/4. So you've got like 1.5 1/2s would go into 3/4. So I know that my quotient is just automatically going to be greater than 1 because the divisor is less than the dividend. So I know, whoopsies, sorry about that. I know that 3/4 divided by 1/2 is going to go into this category, greater than 1. Let's keep working our way down the list. We got this one already. Okay, 1/2 divided by 3/4. That looks like just the opposite of this. So here the divisor is larger than the dividend. So we say, how many 3/4 go into 1/2? Well, not even a full 3/4 goes into 1/2. So just like in the problem, how many 20s go into 4? Not even a whole one. So I know my answer is going to be a fraction, which proper fractions are less than 1. So I know automatically, since the divisor is greater than the dividend, this expression is going in the less than 1 category. So 1/2 divided by 3/4 goes in less than 1. All right. What about 2/9 divided by 1/27? Okay, how many 1/27ths go into 2/9? Well, just by looking at these two fractions, I'm pretty sure that 1/27 is much less than 2/9. 2/9, if we scaled that up, I believe would be 6/27, which is larger than 1/27. So since here the divisor is less than the dividend, that's going to go into the greater than 1 category. So 2/9 divided by 1/27 goes there. Let's keep moving. All right, so 5/3 divided by 26. This one's a little tricky because these are both improper fractions, but let me think about this. So 5/3 is 1 2/3, or like 1 and something. And 26 is 3 and something. So here I know that the divisor is greater than the dividend. So that means that less than one of these is going to go over here. So I know that that one fits here. 5/3 divided by 26 goes in the less than 1 category because the divisor is greater than the dividend. All right, let's try 4/3 divided by 3/5. Well, this is an improper fraction, so it's greater than 1. This is a proper fraction, so it's less than 1. The divisor is less than the dividend, so more than 1/3 goes into 4/3. So that means that our quotient will be greater than 1. So let's add that here. 4/3 divided by 3/5 is greater than 1. Okay, last but not least, 19/8 divided by 2 3/8. This one seems pretty tricky if you try to solve it without doing any computations, but let's use our reasoning here. This is an improper fraction. This is a mixed number. Let's try to figure out their relationship. Well, 2 3/8, if I wrote that as an improper fraction, this would be 16/8 plus 3/8. Well, this is 19/8. So let's make sure this is 2 3/8. So 8 goes into 19 2 times. That's 16/8 with 3/8 left over. You know what? These two things, even though this is an improper fraction and this is a mixed number, these things are equal. So whenever you take something and divide it by itself, remember that looks like take any number, no matter what it is. Let's say it's 5 divided by 5, 5/5, or we could rewrite that as 5 divided by 5. That's always the number 1. So no matter what we're dealing with, anything divided by itself is 1. So this expression fits into the equal to 1. So 19/8 divided by 2 3/8 fits into the equal to 1 category. So this explains where all of these questions from number 14 fit into the less than 1, equal to 1, or greater than 1. But like, what if you had some other fractions and you just wanted to figure out where they went? Let's try a fraction division problem like 4/5 divided by 1/7. Remember, you don't have to actually solve these, just figure out what category do they fit into. All right, so I asked myself, how many 1/7 fit into 4/5? Well, 1/7 is less than 4/5. So that means that more than one of these 1/7 will fit into 4/5. So this expression fits into the greater than 1 category because the divisor is less than the dividend. Then let's say we just flipped it around and said 1/7 divided by 4/5. Now our divisor is greater than the dividend, so less than 1 whole of this 4/5 will fit into 1/7. So that one goes into the less than 1 category. And you can come up with just like any fraction division problem that would fit into this equal to 1 category by just taking a fraction and dividing it by itself. So I could take 4/5 divided by 4/5. And that is equal to 1. I could take 1/7 divided by 1/7, and that is equal to 1. I could take a whole number and divide it by itself. That's equal to 1. I could take an improper fraction and divide it by itself, and that is equal to 1. Any number divided by itself is equal to 1. Any division problem where the divisor is less than the dividend is greater than 1. And any fraction division problem, or division problem for that matter, where the divisor is greater than the dividend, your quotient will be less than 1. Hope this information helped. Good luck on your quiz corrections. Bye.